Hi, I'm going to talk to you about the PBL or project-based learning experience that Mesquite ISD has developed for secondary students. First off, what is a PBL? Well, with the PBL, students actually learn about a particular topic by doing a project. It's just that simple. They are able to address a real-world problem, and usually there's a driving question that the students that can't Google the answer, they actually have to do research to find out the answer to the particular question or problem. And there's no right or wrong answer. Students have choice. One of the other good benefits of a PBL is that it's over a sustained amount of time. So it could be for 3 days, it could last for 5 days, 2 weeks, or even an entire grading period. Students are allowed to reflect on their learning, and once they finish their project, they actually have something that they can share with another audience. The goal of the PBL is to make our students lifelong learners and provide them with skills so that in the real world and in the future, they could replicate this process. So I am going to, in this presentation, discuss what a PBL is, which I just did. I'm going to talk about more about the PBL project, resources that we are encouraging students to use, and then the timeline for the PBL project. So first off, as a teacher, you'll need to go to Eduphoria. You'll need to click on the Virtual Learning Academy PBL tab. In there, you will see a link to the PBL criteria. And while I'm here, I just want to show you, for example, this is in 7th grade, and you will notice here in 7th grade, the units of study. The units of study are here, and here are the weeks of instruction where those units actually are taught. So if a student decides that they want to, for example, do something on natural Texas and its people, that's the unit that the teacher has assigned them. In this unit, we normally talk about the Native Americans that were in America in the region of Texas. We also discuss the explorers, the conquistadors that came over to Texas and mapped out the coastline and encouraged other settlers to come. In this unit, we also talk about the regions of Texas. So you learn about the different climates, the different cities, and how those regions developed in Texas. So they have that to pick from. They can pick any topic within that unit of study. And you will see here when that unit, so the PBL might last longer than the actual unit is actually taught. It just depends on the teacher, or it could be a shorter duration. It just depends on the teacher. Okay, so when you click on that link, it's going to take you to this Excel spreadsheet. On the Excel spreadsheet, you will notice down at the bottom that there are some tabs. So you would want to start there with the tabs. So I'm going to start with the very first one, which are the teacher instructions. And it says here what the students are expected to do. So you can take this information, you can leave it in this format, or you can make it into another friendly format for students. It just depends on what you want to do with the information. But it tells the what and it tells the how. And like I said, there's a little explanation there of if you want to further do anything with this information, you certainly can. Also down here is the rubric, which you may use as a way to assess the project. Then there's another tab for student instructions. Once again, you can take this information and you can change it to however you want to make it more student friendly. It gives basically the what and the how, and it has like 5 steps that students need to do for their project. And then also down here are the different tabs that are the strands that each of the students can pick from. So they'll be picking one of these strands to complete a project based on a topic that they selected. So they might want to pick something in history, and in just reading here, it says analyze, and then the kid will put in their topic right here. So they might want to put in Spanish settlement in Texas, and they're going to write an editorial. They can record a vlog. They can create a comic strip, and they're going to talk about the impact on the economy, the society, the people, or the environment. So like I said, it's very open. They get to pick which avenue that they want to explore. And then they have to defend their topic with claims, reasoning, statistics, definitions, quotes, which is going to come from their research. And then in addition, they will have to answer these reflective questions. So there's reflection questions here. What did you learn about your topic? How did you feel about what you learned? What did you like about completing the assignment? So they have these questions in addition to their project to reflect on their project to complete as well. So those are listed there, and that's going to be for each of the different strands that the kids will be putting in or inserting their topic in completing. Okay, so that's what's in the PBL in the Excel spreadsheet. So let me talk just briefly about resources. We are wanting to encourage our students to use resources that the district actually supports. I know there's a ton of things that kids can find on Google and by typing in their topic and going into Google. And if they so choose to do that, we're not going to limit that, but we're going to highly encourage that they use resources that the district supports. So once I go to the MISD portal, and students have access to this as well, we want to encourage them to use resources that the library supports. So, for example, we have Britannica, which is a library database, and I'm just going to click on the middle school one. So students can then type in their topic and do research using this. There aren't any advertisements on the side, which is what I like about using the MISD resources. A lot less that they can click on that might take them to another location. And you will see in here that kids have articles, there's images and videos, biographies, there's even maps. So there's different things within here that they can use that they could find if they were to Google it, but it's more contained. And like I said, we don't have to worry about any of the extras when you just go using Google. Okay, so we have that resource. We have, in addition to that, we also have the high school edition. So you'll just have to make sure that you click on the right library one for the high school edition. We also have Gale research, which I would highly encourage you if you have students like in economics or in government doing this project, psychology, sociology, or high school courses, to encourage them to use these resources, the Gale suite. Then for our history courses, we have InfoBase. So we have one for American history, and we also have two editions for world history. Once again, I'm just going to click on this one and notice that I had to sign in. Over here on the resources, there's maps and charts. There's primary sources. We highly encourage students to use primary and secondary sources. If you look on the rubric, you'll see that. They have overviews and so videos located here as well. So as opposed to going to YouTube, they can go here, send them here, encourage them to use these resources. And then they can search for different topics within this database. So that's another one that they can use. Learn 360 is another resource that the district provides, and it's just a warehouse of different videos as well. So you'll see the tab here, type in your topic, and they have an abundant amount of resources that kids can use to do their research. Another great resource is Newsela, and many of you are probably familiar with Newsela. But with Newsela, kids are given the opportunity to read articles. Some of them are even current day articles, which they can make comparisons about the past and the present, depending on which strand they pick. But Newsela is also a great resource for them to use. So that's for your news articles. So those are just a few of the ones that are here that we're highly encouraging that our students use for their research as opposed to just going online. We have one other one that I'll highlight, which is the Britannica Image Quest. So if they're trying to use images in their projects, we ask that they start here. One of the great things about using this resource and I just typed in the term my worker, you will see that you have the image, but you also have the source. And we are highly encouraging that kids have a reference sheet or a reference list to cite the sources that they're using. So it's already here. All they would have to do is just click cite, and it gives them the information that they could use to cite this source. Okay. And that is the PBL project. Now, the other thing that I wanted to make sure that I talked about was the timeline. So like I said, it just depends on the students that you have that are in your virtual learning classroom. You may need to extend it and make the project longer so they can finish it. You might need to make it shorter. You might need to modify however you need to so students are successful in this project based upon that student's needs. So just keep that in mind. So the project is open. The resources are there that we're encouraging them to use. And as always, we are here to support you in any way that you need. So if you have any questions, you can always just send me an email at aadeniyi@mesquiteisd.org. Thanks.